Comparing the difficulty between med school and PA school is a little bit challenging since I did PA school first, and then that did help a little bit with my education in medical school. I think the biggest difference is the pace of PA school when you're in class for 8 hours a day and then have to go home and study for the rest of your evening for the 3 to 4 tests per week that you had. That was definitely challenging because you just feel like there's all new information coming at you constantly, and trying to keep up with that is very hard. With medical school, the pace was still, I would say, intense. We had anatomy and all of that with other classes, but we typically had the tests that were more spaced out. So, like every 2 weeks in general, sometimes more, lumped together. But so it was more material on one test versus PA school is like a ton of material on every test, and you're tested very frequently. So you did have more time to kind of digest the information in medical school. And then the hardest thing that I don't know if it gets any easier, I took the steps when step one was a grade, and that is very nitty-gritty cellular molecular basis of medicine, which is very time consuming to study and emotionally and physically draining to study for. So I think the testing that continues in med school is what makes that part definitely difficult, because it just continues on forever. The standardized test, because your future essentially depends on it, versus PA school is you do kind of have to get above, I think you have to get a B and above to stay in PA school in most places. So the sheer amount and intensity of PA school was very challenging, and med school was hard in its own accord, but I also had PA school as kind of like a bridge in a sense. So a lot of the information I had heard before, I had a cadaver lab in PA school and I had a cadaver lab in med school. So a lot of that was like a refresher for me. So it was a little bit easier in that sense, because some of the classes I could, like the clinical stuff, I could get by through just because of PA school beforehand. So hard to compare, but the intensity of PA school was a lot.